This video was digitized from a reel of silent 8mm film. I think it's the 18th Engineer Brigade in Vietnam in 1968. The film boxes didn't have any information on them, and from what I can make out from the film manufacture date, it was 1968, so circa 1968. And so I'm really not too sure if you have an idea uh, who these guys may have served with. Please leave a comment. Yeah, it starts off here with them with loading up, and it looks like they're getting ready to move out somewhere, uh, and then it goes into a a little convoy run, and then it transitioned into some barracks life at whatever fire base or camp or compound that these guys were stationed at, and then it gets back into a another convoy. So yeah, I hope you enjoy. Like I said, I think it's the 18th Engineer Brigade in Vietnam, 1968. I hope you enjoyed this piece of history and uh, like and subscribe if you'd like to see more military and patriotic videos, which I try to upload every other day on my site. And if you're interested in a good read, check out my books at www.edsemler.com.